Good Taoiseach. This morning, Simon Coveney gave an extraordinary interview on a number of fronts, not least his guarded defence of Deputy Collins. But what was more worrying was his attitude to the hike in prices by Electric Ireland. He sounded like an innocent bystander, pretty much like you've sounded today on the same topic. The government do seem to think that they can't do anything to intervene. May I remind the government of the Consumer Protection Act of 2007 under section 61 and 62, which will allow you to control prices. Will you comment on that? And also, isn't it about time you started to rethink the remit and the mandate of the ESB and bring it back to a not-for-profit mandate?
Thanks, Deputy. 4 questions there.
Thanks. I just want to thank the deputies for their questions. Just in response to Deputy Smith, I'm very much aware of what the Consumer Protection Act says. I'm also aware of what European law says and what the laws around the regulation of the energy market say as well, and all of which need to be taken into account. There are powers to regulate retail prices. There aren't powers to regulate wholesale prices, but that's not the process that we intend to use to bring prices down. In relation to sheep farmers, acknowledge the difficulties that sheep farmers are facing. To use the Brexit Adjustment Reserve Fund, you need to be able to prove to the European Commission that the reason why prices are low and input costs are high is because of Brexit, and I think that would be a very hard thing to prove. Unfortunately, we're finding great difficulty being able to meet the tests to draw down money from that fund. But what I can say is that the Food Vision Sheep Group met recently with the Minister, Minister McConalogue. All the main stakeholders are represented on the group. They've been asked to make submissions. Once received, the Chairman's report and the outcome will be carefully considered by Minister McConalogue, and he'll continue to keep the market situation under review and see if there's more that we can do to help sheep farmers out. Finally, just in relation to the mica, families affected by mica in Donegal and elsewhere, I'm aware of the issue around engineering costs, something that Deputy Joe McHugh spoke to me about only at the weekend. Have spoken to Minister O'Brien about it, and he is giving it consideration. And then finally, on road building, I'll have to come back to Deputy Wynne on that later on. My understanding is that the road budget is the same or higher than it was last year, but I appreciate the cost of doing work is higher as well. So it's something I'll come back to her about.